أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد. Assalamu alaikum and welcome everybody for my on my channel Path to God, and thank you for viewing, and if you can like, subscribe and share and press the bell icon so we can get this my channel up and running. So just to recap what we spoke about yesterday. So yesterday we spoke about the prophecy of Prophet Mohammed in the Bible. The Torah and Injil both combined equals the Bible. We looked at a verse in the Quran 757 where the Quran makes a claim that the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ is mentioned in the Bible. So we then went to Isaiah 29. We looked at Isaiah 29 where it states that a servant of God will be given a scroll or a book or a revelation depending on which version of the Bible you're reading. In this case, I was reading the NIV, the New International Version, hence the scroll. So yes, it stated that the servant of God will be given a scroll and he will reply by saying, I am not the learned. So that was that. So today we are going to look in depth at, not in depth, but we're going to look at Isaiah 42. In actual fact, if you look at the whole chapter, I actually strongly suggest everybody who has access to Isaiah 42 to read the whole chapter, because when I read the whole chapter, it was like every verse, every passage I read, it was like, yes, this is the Prophet of Islam, this is the Prophet of Islam. And then when I came to particular verses in that chapter, that theory became more stronger and stronger and stronger. So we can go to Isaiah 42, but first and foremost, who is Isaiah? So Isaiah, it's just my notes here. So Isaiah is a direct descendant of the royal house of Judah, and according to the biblical text, Isaiah was an 8th century BC Israelite prophet who has a whole book named after him in the Bible. That's the biblical version of Isaiah. Now in the Islamic text, Isaiah, or in Arabic would be called Ashia, but he's not mentioned in the Quran or any hadiths as a prophet of God. However, he is mentioned regularly in other Islamic sources such as Qasis al-Anbiya and Tafsir. He's also mentioned by other scholars such as Ibn Kathir. Muslims actually take Isaiah's word in the Bible as to be truthful because Isaiah alone has explicitly prophesied the coming of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. So if we now go to Isaiah 42, so here I've got the New International Version of the Bible, NIV. So Isaiah 42, it's not that big of a chapter, but I strongly suggest that everybody reads, then you'll understand what I mean by every passage and verse you read. You would get that feeling that yes, this is the Prophet of Islam. Okay, so I'm not going to read all the verses because obviously time permitting as well. So I've just picked out particular explicit verses of that particular chapter, and then we'll go through it in depth. So Isaiah 42 verse 1 actually is a good one to start with. It says, "Here is my servant whom I uphold, my chosen one in whom I delight. I will put my spirit in him and he will bring justice to nations." So straight off, the first verse of Isaiah 42, it is God saying that he is talking about a prophet, a servant of him, a prophet. So straight away you know that this chapter's about a prophet, coming prophet. So that's the first verse. So we will then, I would read from, let's see, I will read from verse 7. Yep. So verse 7. This is Isaiah 42 verse 7. "To open eyes that are blind, to free captives from prison, and to release from the dungeon those who sit in darkness. I am the Lord, this is my name. I will not yield my glory to another or my praise to idols. See, the former things have taken place, and new things I declare. Before they spring into being, I announce them to you. Sing to the Lord a new song, his praise from the ends of the earth. You who go down to the sea and all that is in it. You islands and all who live in them. Let the wilderness and its towns raise their voices. Let the settlements of Kedar lives rejoice. Let the people of Selah sing for joy. Let them shout from the mountaintops. Okay, so we're going to concentrate on verse 11 and verse 11? No, sorry, verse 10 to 12. So, if we start from verse 11. Yeah, if we start from verse 11. So it says, let the wilderness and its towns raise their voices. Let the settlements where Kedar lives rejoice. So, first question we ask is, who or what is Kedar? No problem. And remember, the reason why we're reading from the Bible is so we can refute the non-Muslims who say that Prophet Muhammad ﷺ is not a true prophet. So we can refute them using their own text. That's the whole purpose of this exercise. So, Kedar. Who or what is Kedar? So if we go to Genesis 25. Is it Genesis 25? Yep. Let me just get it. Genesis. Okay. Genesis 25. So, Genesis 25 verse 13. Here it says, these are the names of the son of Ishmael, listed in the order of their birth. Nebat, the firstborn of Ishmael, Kedar, Abdil, Mibsam. So here, Genesis is making a claim that Kedar is the second-born son of Ishmael. Second-born son of Ishmael. Okay? So if we go back to Isaiah 42, people of... where is he? Isaiah 42, let the wilderness and its towns raise their voice, let the settlements where Kedar lives rejoice. Now, so we know that Kedar is the second-born son of Ishmael. This is very critical because of the next verse. So the next verse, the next passage in the verse. It says, let the people of Selah sing for joy, let them shout from the mountaintops. Okay, so if you take your phones out, Google where is the Mount Selah, it will come up as Medina, Saudi Arabia. 200 yards from the Prophet's mosque right now, alayhi salatu wasalam. So here we have a prophecy from God to Isaiah, prophesying that there is a servant of God to come, and the people of Selah will rejoice and sing from the mountaintops. Selah is in Medina, Saudi Arabia. And if everybody is familiar with the Prophet ﷺ's migration from Mecca to Medina, when he came to Medina, the people of Medina sang rejoice, Tala al-Badru alayna. Now we go back to Kedar. Kedar is the second-born son of Ishmael. And if the passage after that is correct, Selah is in Medina, so that means the people of Kedar is the people of Medina. And that gives direct link of the genealogy from Prophet Muhammad and the Arabs to Kedar, to Ishmael alayhi salam, and to Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam. So there we have clear, explicit, detailed characteristics of the servant of God to come in Isaiah 42. And that's that. So here we have, again, this is an exercise for those of you who are unable to answer non-Muslims' questions as to why is Prophet Muhammad a true prophet. And if he is a true prophet, which he is, alayhi salatu wasalam, you can prove them wrong or refute them from their own scripture, their own Bible. Like I said at the beginning, Isaiah 42, if you read the whole chapter, you would know every verse, every passage is talking about your Prophet of Islam, Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. if you have access to Isaiah 42, I strongly suggest you read it. You can Google it, download it on PDF or whatever, and read it. And yeah, that's about it. And tomorrow we will look at the wording of Jesus Christ and his prophecy on the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. And obviously, just before I go, I'd like to remind everybody to like, subscribe, share, click the bell icon, and so forth. And also, just want to give a shout out to my niece Yamna, who's helped me with editing. I'm not that IT savvy, so yeah, Yamna, lovely. And I'll see you soon, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.